What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today we have another Archetype discussion video for you guys. Of course, just like with the Metaphys Archetype discussion video, if you guys want to see more content like this in the future, let me know by hitting that like button, and also let me know what other archetypes you guys want to see me talk about in the comments below. Anyway, this is one that got probably the most requests, and even before I started doing this series again, and that is the Crawler Archetype. Basically, if you haven't heard about these cards, they are another brand new archetype that is from Circuit Break, and they are all insect monsters that use flip effects. Also, their main strategy too is to be able to swarm the field, which makes it really easy to bring out the link monsters that they have, because so far, at the time of this video, of course, we only have the cards that are from Circuit Break, so that means we have like 6 flip effect monsters, and of course 3 link monsters that they can bring out. They also have spells and traps too, which we'll get to. But basically, their strategy is to just be able to swarm the field and bring out those link monsters like it's nothing. Which actually makes sense, I guess, being insects, and also they're like the new bad guys of the dual terminal world as well. They're kind of like the new evil swarms or infernoids or something like that. One thing that's really interesting about crawlers is that first off, they all have their own effect, but also all the flip effect monsters also share this effect, which is if this face-up card and its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 2 crawler monsters with different names from your deck in face-down defense position, except this card and Acid Crawler. You can only use each effect of this monster once per turn. So yeah, they all share this effect. That's what makes it interesting, because basically you get rid of one crawler monster, they multiply, they swarm the field. So again, that's what makes them so powerful, being able to then bring out more of them in face-down defense. And of course, like I said, they're all flip effect monsters, so yeah, they all do different things. There's one that's like a mystical space typhoon. There's one that destroys a monster on the field. There's one that's like a foolish burial. I mean, they each do specific things for you to help the deck, you know, be able to do other things, which is basically bringing out more crawler monsters. So it's pretty ridiculous. And like I said, they all share this effect. The only difference is, obviously, of course, the part of the effect that's different is that it has that card's name that is using this effect. So, you know, be like Crawler Axon, for example, he can't, like, summon himself, and of course, he can't summon Acid Crawler, which is basically the Frog the Jam for crawlers, by the way. If you guys don't know about it, it's a normal monster that came out for Japan. Yeah, we don't have it over here, I don't think, and also, it's just that they shared the name, but is not really part of the archetype, so it's like Frog the Jam. All these different cards are going to say, you can't summon it, so don't worry about it, basically is what I'm saying. And of course, you can only use each effect of the crawler monster that uses this once per turn, so that's the only thing that's specific about them, but really, they all share that effect, like I said, being able to swarm the field ridiculously easy, and then you're getting all those flip effects, which is just awesome. And of course, now that you guys know that, I'm not going to read that part of the effect, of course, 6 different times, so you guys know how that part works, but we're going to be talking about the differences too, because they all have their own effect, like I said, as well. The first one we're going to be talking about is Crawler Axon, which is an Earth level 2 insect flip effect monster. They all share those stats too, but their attack and defense is different, where this one has 500 attack and 1,800 defense. Anyway, its effect that's different from the others is that you can target one spell or trap card in the field, destroy it. So what does this card do, really? What is it about? It's a Mystical Space Typhoon for crawlers. It's like their themed, you know, monster version of Mystical Space Typhoon. It's the best way to put it, really. It gets rid of spells and traps, gets rid of that back row, which can hurt, you know, just about any deck out there. And of course, crawlers, because they swarm the field so easily and they want to bring out their link monsters. If they have something like Solemn Strike, you don't want them to have that, or anything that could possibly slow you down for summoning your monsters. So it's great to just be able to get rid of that back row, and that's really the only difference with this card. So it's one I really do recommend running, probably at least 2, but honestly, with just about all these crawler effect monsters, you're going to be running about 2 to 3 on all of them. So it just kind of depends on your build, but I would say at least 2, probably 3, honestly, though, with this card. Next up, we have Crawler Dendrite, which is, again, Earth level 2 insect flip effect monster, 1,300 attack though this time, and 600 defense. And of course, its effect, you know, that it has by itself is that you can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a Foolish Burial. It is a themed Foolish Burial. That's what it does, basically. Being able to send certain cards to your graveyard definitely helps out with this deck. Of course, when we get to the support section on different cards that work well with this archetype, you'll see why I say that that's good to have their own Foolish Burial. And just being able to just do that, because some of the other crawlers can recycle monsters and all that too, can greatly help you speed up the deck and just get the monsters where you want them to be. So it's good to have your own themed Foolish Burial, really. Bottom line. Again, around 2 to 3 is what I would run on it too. Next up, we have Crawler Glay. I think I'm saying that right. I could be mispronouncing that. Anyway, again, you know, same stats on that, but it has 700 attack, 1,500 defense. And of course, its effect is that you can special summon one crawler monster from your hand or graveyard in attack position or face down defense position, except Crawler Glay or Acid Crawler. So again, Frog the Jam is Acid Crawler. Anyway, though, this one is a just another way to bring out more crawler monsters. That's what it does. It can revive a crawler monster, or you can just special summon one from your hands. Being able to do that whether in attack or face on defense, there you go. So you're able to get that effect if you want that flip effect, or just being able to swarm the field and go for that link summon is what it does. Another one that I would say 2 to 3, but this one I'm leaning even closer to 3 with, just because swarming the field even quicker is a giant plus for you, and like I said, go for those link monsters as quickly as possible, and that's what this deck does. So it really does help with that theme, and getting more crawler monsters out for you is always a good thing. Afterwards, we have Crawler Renvier, which, again, same stats, but it has 1,100 attack and 900 defense, and its effect that it has by itself is that you can target up to 2 crawler monsters in your graveyard, except Acid Crawler, add them to your hand. So this one is the recycling crawler monster. You're able to get back your monsters and just add them back to your hand, making it so that, you know, you have those flip effects again. You know, if you want to destroy more spells or traps, there you go. I mean, you can revive Axon and get him back for that, or you need that Foolish Burial again, or whatever. You know, just being able to just summon more monsters from your hand and just get them back. So using this, obviously, it just recycles everything. Helps you get more crawler monsters out there. Again, another great strategy to have, another great card for them. Being able to, that's what's nice about their effects too, is that they work really well together to then just keep reviving and bringing each other out over and over, getting those flip effects. And again, obviously, another one I would say run 2 to 3. After that, we have Crawler Receptor. Again, stats. And it has 900 attack, 1,200 defense. The effect that it has by itself is that you can add one crawler monster from your deck to your hand, except Acid Crawler. So plain and simple, this one is the Searcher. Now this one I can easily say run 3 of too, by the way, because it's the Searcher. Yeah, you need this. Because being able to search for any crawler monster from your deck and add it to your hand, that's obviously really good. For any archetype, that's good. So it's a Searcher that will definitely help you out, get whatever crawler monster you need, and just add it to your hand. So that will definitely work really well for you. And the last one of the effect monsters that we're going to be talking about is Crawler Spine, which, again, stats, 300 attack though this time, and 2,100 defense, so it is the most defensive of all of them too. Anyway, its flip effect is, you can target one monster in the field, destroy it. So, yeah, it's like Axon, basically, it's like a counterpart to him. This one destroys monsters instead of spells or traps. That's obviously really good, get rid of problematic monsters out there. It's kind of like a Raikou, even is what it reminds me of. And just being able to destroy monsters, that's obviously going to help you out with getting rid of different problematic monsters your opponent may have. And there you go. I mean, it can throw off your opponent. So just having that extra monster destruction is definitely going to help you out. And of course, another one I would obviously say run 2 to 3. Alright, now we're moving on to the Link monsters. They basically have something similar to the effect that we talked about that the effect monsters share. It's just this time, they actually revive crawler monsters, so you get 2 different ones from your graveyard. I'm still going to read off the full effect, but I wanted to make sure you guys notice that, is that instead of getting them from the deck this time, the Link monsters actually revive crawler monsters. So even though the effect is kind of similar to swarming the field, it's slightly different and can actually help you out too, because, well, you have a Link monster already, so more likely you have crawlers in your graveyard. And the first one we're going to be talking about is X-Crawler Neurogos. I think I'm saying that right, not really sure. I could be mispronouncing that. Anyway, it is an Earth Link monster with Link arrows pointing to the left and the right. Of course, it is an insect monster, requires 2 insect monsters to Link summon into it, and it has a 1,900 attack and then the Link of 2. And of course, its effect is crawler monsters this card points to, except Acid Crawler, cannot be destroyed by battle. Gain 300 attack and defense, and any battle damage they inflict to your opponent from attacks involving them, and an opponent's monster is doubled. If this face-up card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can target 2 crawler monsters with different names in your graveyard, except Acid Crawler, special summon them in face-down defense position. So again, like I said, they basically have that same effect at the end. It's just that you're getting from the graveyard, and also if your Link monster is destroyed by battle, that's also a difference too, not just by card effects. So it's a little bit better on that too. Anyway, what does this card do? Well, it protects your crawler monsters, and of course having the Link arrows to the left and the right, it should easily point to your crawler monsters and being able to protect them, power them up, and also make it so they do extra damage to your opponent when they attack an opponent's monster. All really good effects, really. I mean, being able to protect them is like the best thing about it too, because you're going to be able to swarm the field easily. If you can make it so they can't be destroyed by battle, yeah, obviously that's going to be really good for you, and you're doing extra damage too. Not only that, I gotta say I do like the last part of the effect. Like I said, the Link monsters, they all share this one. Being able to revive crawler monsters, whether the Link monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, is also really good too. So of course, swarming the field even more, helping you of course revive your crawlers and using their effects yet again, and then even go for more Link monsters. So with that, it makes it an amazing card, and like I said, basically this is just more of a protection and power up Link monster for crawlers, and it's one you are definitely going to want to use with them. Then after that, we have our next Link monster, which is X-Crawler Synapsis. Anyway, of course, Earth Link monster, the Link arrows again to the left and the right. Insect requires 2 Earth monsters to Link summon this one, so that's a little bit different, and it it has 1,800 attack and the link of 2. And of course, its effect is Crawler monsters this card points to, except Acid Crawler, cannot be destroyed by battle, gain 300 attack and defense, and can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. If this face-up card on the field is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while the owner controls it, you can target 2 Crawler monsters with different names in your graveyard, except Acid Crawler, special summon them in face-down defense position. So yeah, this pretty much has the same effect as the previous one, it's just that it makes it so your monsters can attack twice. If you have both of these on your side of the field, I mean, doing that extra damage and attacking twice would be very good for you. And again, it's just able to protect your Crawler monsters and even power them up yet again. So of course, with both of them on your side of the field, protecting your Crawler monsters, powering them up by 300, which then will be 600 if you have both of them, and making it so you're doing extra damage and attacking twice, that is actually a pretty scary lineup. Also, again, having that same effect where if it leaves the field, whether it be destroyed by battle or card effect, getting 2 Crawler monsters with different names from your graveyard, and then special summoning them, yeah, there you go. You have that revival effect yet again. So yeah, not really a ton to say about this one because, I mean, it's basically like the previous one. They have almost the same effects, just actually just building off of the previous one, being able to also make it so you can attack twice. So both of them are going to be really good together. You get them both inside the field, like I said, you will definitely be doing some damage, and of course also making it hard for your opponent to get rid of your monsters. And then of course now we are to our last link monster to talk about, and this is the boss monster too for crawlers, and that is X-Crawler Qualark. We talked about this card before, but I'm still going to talk about it again in this video since it's kind of a gathering of all the cards. So it is an earth link monster with link arrows to the bottom left and bottom right, insect, and it requires 2 Crawler monsters except Acid Crawler to link summon into it. Of course, it also has 2,000 attack and then the link of 2. Anyway though, its effect is if this face-up card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can target 2 Crawler monsters with different names in your graveyard except Acid Crawler, special summon them in face-down defense position. This card gains effects based on the number of Crawler monsters you control. If it's 2 or more, all monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense. If it is 4 or more, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during the battle phase. And of course, if it is 6 or more, monsters you control can attack directly. So yet again, you have another amazing link monster for crawlers. Because first off, it has that same first effect right at the beginning, being able to revive your crawler monster. So if it's from a battle card effect, there you go. Nothing else to say on that. But what's great on this one is that, like I said about them being able to swarm the field, yeah, if you have this monster out there too, of course you want to have this in your extra monster zone. Then if you're able to link some of the other 2 that, you know, making it so it points to them, and then also have some other crawler monsters on your side of the field, yeah, you can easily have 6 monsters on your side of the field for that. Because remember, that extra monster zone makes it so we do have 6 monster zones we can have. So we can actually have 6 monsters on our side of the field now. That is possible. So I know that might confuse some new players, but yes, that is actually completely possible. So of course, its effects just make it build off of that yet again, being able to power up your monsters. You have 2 or more monsters. There you go. You're getting that 300 attack and defense. You do that with the other 2 link monsters, you're gaining 900 attack and defense. That will definitely power up all your monsters, especially those weaker crawler monsters. And then if you have 4 or more, then you're also building off that, where then your opponent's cards in a phase can't be activated during the battle phase. So basically, they can't stop you. It's kind of like an Ancient Gear effect, where, you know, it attacks, they can't do anything about it. A little bit better, of course, because it just makes it so they can't do anything. And that will definitely make it so you could OTK your opponent with an effect like that. And then, of course, like I said, the last part, being able to have 6 monsters, of course, that is not, you know, impossible nowadays, and you can just attack directly. So, who cares about their monsters? Attack directly, win the game. A little bit different from Metaphys, where I was like, I couldn't say anything really great about their boss monster, but for this one, this is a must-use, and like I said, it will definitely make it so you can wipe out your opponent really easily. Alright, so next up we're moving on to our spell and trap cards. So first off we have their field spell, and that is Shadows Creeping on the World Legacy. It is, like I said, a field spell for crawlers, and its effect is all crawler monsters on the field except Acid Crawler gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower insect monster from your hand, face up or face down position. When a flip monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, you can send an opponent's monster to the graveyard. So first off, it's a power-up card for them. It makes it so you can swarm the field even easier, being able to special summon more insect monsters, which again, you're going to special summon more crawlers with that, whether it be face down or face up. So that gives you a lot of options with that. And then also, it kind of gives you that extra effect, because like I said, with crawlers, of course, when they're destroyed by card effects, then they get their actual effect to bring out more crawlers. Well, if you have this on your side of the field, if they are destroyed by battle, then you are also getting rid of one of your opponent's monster and send it to the graveyard. So with this, I mean, that is a really good effect. It doesn't actually destroy them too, it just sends them to the graveyard, so that's actually better that it does it like that, and this really helps them out. It's a protection card for them, a way to storm the field even easier, and even a way to get rid of your opponent's monsters. So it's a good field spell, and one you will definitely need to use at 3. Like, this is a card that is really good for them. It's another one of those archetypes where they need their field spell. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So you'll probably run 3 of those and even 3 terraforming, to be very honest. Then after that, we're moving on to trap cards. We have a continuous trap for them, which is World Legacy Puppet. And of course, its effect is you can target one face-down monster you control, change it to face-up attack or defense position. You can shuffle one crawler monster from your graveyard to the deck, except Acid Crawler, then target one face-up monster you control, change it to face-down defense position. You can only use one World Legacy Puppet effect per turn, only once that turn. So basically what this card doing is it's making it so you can flip your monsters face up and face down. I mean, it's a type of card we see all the time with flip effect monsters. It seems like even with Subterrors and stuff, you want to be able to do that over and over, and that's what this card does. So basically that's what you're doing with it, and then also being able to get one of your crawler monsters from your graveyard and then shuffle it back into the deck will also be a plus for you because you're able to recycle your monsters like that. So either way, it's just simply there to keep using those flip effects. And then after that, we have Trap Crawling on World Legacy. It is a normal trap card, and its effect is shuffle 5 of your World Legacy cards with different names that are banished in your hand, graveyard, or face up on the field into the deck, except Trap Crawling on World Legacy. Then draw 2 cards. You can only use 1 Trap Crawling on World Legacy per turn. So this one is just a recycling card for the World Legacy cards. I mean, the reason I bring it up is because, of course, with you're using actually, World Legacy Puppet with this deck. You're also using their, Field Spell, which has World Legacy in the name, and there are a lot of those World Legacy cards that actually work with crawlers. So that's the reason I bring it up in this. It is kind of part of the main archetype. It is a new card too from Circuit Break, just like the others. So basically, it's just there to recycle and draw a couple of cards. And then, of course, next up, we're also going to be talking about World Legacy Beacon, because, since the other World Legacy cards actually do work with crawlers, this is another one you can actually use with them as well. So I wanted to bring it up. It's another one that's new from Circuit Break as well, and it is a normal trap, and its effect is banish one World Legacy monster from your hand or face up from your field, then target 2 monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, but they cannot attack this turn. So what does this do? It revives monsters. It is basically a one-sentence card, so there's not a ton to say. You're banishing a World Legacy monster from your hand or on the field, then you're able to, special summon 2 monsters from your graveyard. They can't attack, but just link summon with them. There you go. Bring out 2 of your crawlers like that, go for one of the link monsters. They can set you up for that, and yeah, you're also, you could even gain some effects from them, just gain some extra protection from your monsters, but mainly, I would just bring out 2, then go for a link summon. That's what you're going to be doing with it, and that's the reason I wanted to bring it up too, because, again, World Legacies and crawlers are kind of, working together on a lot of this, so it's worth bringing up. Alright, now that we've talked about the main crawler support, let's talk about some different cards that work really well with them. We even have some cards that we're going to be talking about that are already out right now in English that you might want to pick up before these cards are released. The first one we have is World Legacy World Armor. Yes, this is another card from Circuit Break, and it actually helps them out a lot too. It goes with the whole World Legacy thing, obviously, too, because it's in the name. Anyway, it is a Dark Level 7 machine effect monster with 2,500 attack, 2,500 defense. And of course, its effect is when a monster is flip summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. If you control this normal summoner set monster quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck, return both it and this card to the hand. You can only use each effect of World Legacy World Armor once per turn. So yeah, as you guys can see, this card works amazing with crawlers. I mean, come on, when a monster is flip summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. There you go, you just gained an instant 2,500 attack, 2,500 defense monster. Not only that, you're able to then add a World Legacy card from your deck to your hand, so you're getting a searcher from it, and also you're able to get rid of an extra deck monster that your opponent special summoned. So think about that, just any different extra deck monster. That includes Xyz, Synchros, anything. So with that, of course, this is obviously a great card for the deck, just easy to bring out. It's not only is it a beat stick monster, but it's just made to just get rid of your opponent's monsters too, and even search cards for you. So really, it's amazing, and like I said, you just have to flip summon a monster to bring this card out. It's pretty ridiculous in crawlers for that reason, because you'll be able to summon it just ridiculously easy. Then, of course, like I said, talking about cards that we already have in English right now that you might want to pick up before crawlers are actually released, we have Doom Dozer. Yes, this is just basically a strong insect monster that you can use. You're just able to banish 2 insect monsters from your graveyard, get this card to your side field with that 2,800 attack. Yeah, that will definitely help you out. And then also, when you do battle damage, then you're able to send the top card of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So you're also being able to just get rid of some of their cards like that. It's a great card for them, just a strong monster that you can easily bring out by banishing 2 insects. So definitely a notable card that that you can use. And like I said, it's already out in English, obviously. And then after that, we also have as Tekapede, the Worm Warrior, basically the same thing as Doomdozer. Like, it's just a weaker monster, and also you only banish one insect monster, but it also sends top card your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So, again, an easy monster to bring out, and pretty good support with them too. I mean, anything that involves insects, you can use both of those cards anyway, and since crawler monsters are insects, you have access to some pretty strong monsters that can annoy your opponent. Then next up we have Infernity Beetle. Yes, you can actually use a tuner monster with this deck too, giving you access to synchro monsters, and of course you have no cards in your hand, you get 2 more Infernity Beetles. So it can kind of make it so you're getting rid of some cards from your deck as well, and just making it so that you have more insects on your side of the field, and then you can use them for link summoning, like I said, synchro summoning, whatever. So it's a great addition for them, and it just fits perfectly with crawler monsters. So definitely a card I recommend too, and like I said, access to synchros, yes please. And after that we have all of the sea monsters. So we have Flying Sea, Max Sea, and Retaliating Sea. Retaliating Sea is probably the one that works the best with them, but basically they are, again, insect monsters. They're actually searchable and everything, so all of them are worth using. Just depends on your situation. Retaliating Sea is probably the best one though, honestly, that goes with the archetype, but still being able to use Max Sea, which you might want to use that anyway, even at 1, is still a great draw engine card, and Flying Sea is another great card to use against certain decks too, so you might even want to just side deck them, but honestly, I think I'd run Max Sea in this deck anyway for the draw power, and Retaliating the Sea is also a great card to use in the main deck. So it's just funny that they all actually work well, because you don't really think of them as being, you know, other cards besides just like hand trap stuff, especially Max Sea. You only think of it as being the card that helps you draw, but it can actually work really well with this archetype, so it's kind of funny. And then after that, we also have B-List Soldier. Now this one is kind of funny to see because I remember seeing this card so many times in Crossroads of Chaos, and what it does is basically you contribute this card and then one face-up insect type monster except for another Bee Soldier, and then draw 2 cards. So using this, you could actually have a bit of a draw engine for you. Get rid of one of your crawler monsters, there you go, you drew 2 cards. That can actually be pretty good. I feel like it's notable for that reason, and in certain builds, I mean, having that extra draw power could be pretty good for you. And after that, we have a Resonance Insect. Now this one's pretty interesting too, because this is actually from Duelist Alliance, and what it's able to do is it combos really well with Doomdozer, because when it leaves the field, it goes from the field to the graveyard, you are able to add a level 5 or higher insect monster from your deck to your hand. So obviously Doomdozer is a good choice on that. And of course too, when it is banished, you can send one insect type monster from your deck to the graveyard, except for itself. So with this, if it's in your graveyard afterwards and you got to search Doomdozer, then you can use Doomdozer's effect, banish it. Of course you have to banish 2 insects, but that could be one of them, and then you're able to send an insect monster from your deck to the graveyard, which could be one of your crawler monsters, then use one of the link monsters to revive it, because they're able to revive from the graveyard. You also have some of your other crawler monsters that are, you know, able to, you know, recycle your different crawler monsters, add them back to your hand, or just special summon them as well. So with that, of course, it can set up a lot of plays for you, and just really well with Doomdozer. I mean, like I said, a searcher for it, and also working off his banishing effects, so both are really good. And then next up, I'm going to talk about both these cards together because they're basically the same strategy, and that is Multiplication of Ants and Worm Bait. Basically, what do? Tribute an insect, get token cards. That's what you're doing from that. Worm Bait is probably a little bit better than Multiplication of Ants, but also I wanted to bring both of them up because they both basically do the same thing, and Multiplication of Ants is a lot cheaper because Worm Bait is a game promo. It was in one of the Tag Force games, so yeah, it hadn't been reprinted since then, and it's already kind of pricey, and it will probably get pricier the closer we get to Circuit Break and the closer we get to those crawler monsters. So with that, of course, both of them basically are doing the same thing. You get those token monsters on your side of the field, you can link summon with them easily, and it just helps you swarm the field yet again and go for those link monsters as quickly as possible, and that's what both of them are there to do. And the last support card we're going to talk about is Verdant Sanctuary. It's a continuous spell card, and its effect is when a face-up insect-type monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, its controller can add 1 insect-type monster with the same level as destroyed monster from their deck to their hand. So yeah, as you guys can see, this card works amazing with crawlers, because with it, with one of your face-up insect-type monsters is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you're able to add an insect monster from your deck that is the same level to your hand. So with that, of course, all the crawler monsters are level 2. Think about that. One of them gets destroyed, you activate the flip effect, it's face up, gets destroyed, then there you go. You're able to search for another crawler monster and then just add it to your hand. So it's a great searcher for that, helps you get your crawler monsters, helps you keep, you know, having more of them in your hand to summon and everything and use their effects. So this card is easily a staple in most builds right now. I'm running 3 of it right now, and it works amazingly for them. I mean, like I said, just being able to keep searching and get more crawler monsters, it helps out a ton. And yep, there you go. That is my crawler archetype discussion video for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was a little bit of a long video, but also I wanted to make sure to explain everything too. That way if someone doesn't understand anything about crawlers, maybe they have never heard of the archetype or they want to build them or something, playing, they can watch this video and hopefully understand how they work. Even if they're going against them, maybe they'll understand them very well. And that's what I'm trying to do on these videos. So yeah, it makes for a longer video, but I hope all this information was really helpful to you guys. Also, if there are any other discussions you guys want me to go over, like any other archetypes, let me know in the comments, and like this video if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and of course subscribe for more archetype discussion videos, openings, and other Yu-Gi-Oh related videos. I'm thinking probably next I'll talk about the Altergeist, because they are also from Circuit Break, but if you guys also have more requests, I would love to hear them, like I said, and I'll be sure to write them down and we'll go through a bunch of these archetypes too. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys later. See ya!